hard living this life.
No, it really is. So I just got a text from my wife. She's it's a text to me and her mom. She said, I'm divorcing Jaceel, mom. A blog has accused him of cheating on me, so I'm done. Like, that's what I'm dealing with in real life. Like, in real life, see what it says? Yep, the girl who used to work for him. So this is what I'm really dealing with, and that's I'm gonna be as transparent as I could be, because this is what happens when you play like this. You play on people's lives. You play on whatever they may be dealing with, and they have to deal with real circumstances. So this is what I'm dealing with this morning. Yeah.
Young Joc and Kendra's marriage seemed like a dream come true. Hip-hop and love fans had anticipated for a big wedding and a new beginning, but the fissures were far deeper behind closed doors, and Joc has now had enough, splitting from Kendra and ending their relationship. What specifically went wrong? Why did this couple's romance turn to heartbreak? Let's examine the shocking reality of their split.
Man, guess what? I got to stand on mine too. Because guess what? Let me tell you something. I didn't go to college. Guess what? I want my kids to go to college. So we can say that right now. I don't want them to go that direction. I want them to go to college. I can say that with you too. Right. But don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium, and say, oh, I wouldn't want my son or your sons to be like you. Hold on. No, you gonna put some respect on my name. I'm successful. I take care of my kids. Okay. Ain't none of my kids out here in dire need of love and support. Okay. So we ain't gonna do that. Okay? Because I don't appreciate that. Because there's some things about you that I could say I wouldn't want my daughters to do.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna do that. I respect you. I love you enough.
I want this magazine to know
No. I respect the
about
integrity.
Me. You don't want your daughter.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Be my guest.
I'm not gonna
be slighted, honey. I'm not gonna do that.
That's where we are.
Well, all right. The charismatic and laid-back personality of love and hip-hop veteran and Atlanta-based hip-hop singer Young Joc helped him establish a reputation in both music and reality TV. Joc had 8 children from previous relationships when he first met Kendra Robinson. Kendra, on the other hand, was the total opposite. Their peculiarities made them unique, but they also made them fascinating when combined. Despite numerous obstacles, Joc and Kendra seemed to be the quintessential power couple when they were married in 2021. The relationship evolved into a story about hip-hop and love. Atlanta and its supporters were given a front-row seat to their highs and lows in the beginning. Their chemistry was clear, but problems soon arose. The first significant problem was Joc's complicated relationship with his 8 children and 4 different marriages. Kendra was reluctant to blend in with Joc's since she struggled to process the baggage from Joc's past. Her role in his already full household was a common source of argument with him. KRA made it clear that she didn't want Joc's family to define her or his public image. The stress was increased by the frequent mention of Joc's adultery, which plagued him throughout their relationship. Love and hip-hop were used to express Kendra's displeasure with Joc's behavior and her doubts about his loyalty. Rumors about Joc's allegiance were stoked when he admitted to his previous habits and temptations. Fans could tell that their trust was brittle because they regularly had intense public confrontations and made emotional admissions in front of the cameras, despite Kendra's support for him in the hopes that he would change and that their relationship would last. Kendra appeared to maintain her personal goals on course, while Joc appeared sincere in his desire to see the marriage succeed. In spite of everything, they managed to get married in 2021, which was hailed as a new beginning, an opportunity to disprove the skeptics, and a chance to start a new chapter. Cracks began to reveal the argument that reduced their marriage to a single significant problem: children. Despite their best efforts to merge their lives and move past the chaos that followed them, Joc declared that he was determined to have children and that he wanted children with Kendra. I was impacted when she told me she didn't want children with me since we had to share everything in order to build a life together, including parenthood. In his opinion, it was the natural progression of their relationship. Joc confessed with emotion. Instead of just having another child, Joc wanted to create something with his partner that, in his view, reflected their commitment and love. He thought it would improve their bond. Kendra's personal resistance to the idea, which looked to be denying them a future together, upset Joc. and angry that his desire to have children with Kendra was being turned down. But Kendra had good reason to not want kids, at least not just yet. She wasn't prepared to take a break to concentrate on motherhood because she had spent years building her image as a lawyer. Kendra explained to her that she may save her eggs for later. I would make the decision for her if she want a kid at a later time, was about exerting control and safeguarding her alternatives, not about refusing to become a mother. Her own timetable, yet the sentimental neither of them had any idea how severe the fallout would be. Jock saw this dispute as a lack of trust and a common vision for their future, and it wasn't only about the children. He thought that Kendra wasn't fully committed when she committed to having children with him and frozen her eggs, and interpreted her statements as a preface to life after him. It seemed like Kendra had betrayed me. She wasn't willing to give up her job or her uniqueness, so Jock thought it was unfair that she insisted on having children. A fight over kids became a ticking time bomb, and when Kendra changed her mind, Jock felt duped in the worst way imaginable. For everyone save Jock, her refusal was a rejection of society's tendency to force women to sacrifice their goals for parenthood, not of him.
Well, Jocelle and I have been in this for a real long time. So, and it's a lot of stuff like you guys are seeing this season where, the whole world wasn't privy to, some of the stuff that Jocelle and I was going through, or the times we separated or that we were broke up. Even while we were engaged or even while I was still wearing my ring, we had moments where it just was like not happening. But, and things happened during those times when we weren't together.
AARMR was meant to be about building together, but his idea of what their union should look like was at odds with Kendra's independence and insistence on being in charge of her future. Jock began to distance himself from the discussions over having children as Jack and Kendra's marriage grew more tense. Kendra's resolute determination to freeze her eggs for the future caused Jock to feel rejected and undervalued. Reciprocating his feelings, if you're freezing eggs for someone else, I'm going to do what I want to do too, he allegedly said, urging Kendra to stop. Sources close to the couple said that Kendra's refusal to have children revealed a deeper rift and that he began to question whether they had same life goals. The resulting heated discussions were filled with hurt sentiments and unsaved hatred, and Kendra's independence suddenly felt like a wall he couldn't overcome. Had sacrificed something in order to maintain the connection, but Kendra wouldn't back down. Kendra felt misunderstood by Jock, who saw her decision to freeze her eggs as a rejection of her independence and their future together. When Jock realized he couldn't live in a marriage where his goals and objectives were ignored, it was the tipping point. Reports state that Jock finally decided to stop his relationship with Kendra. This was a surprising decision for those who had seen the couple overcome so many challenges, but for Jock, it was Her response demonstrated her resolve that she wasn't willing to change her position or give up on her career, even though Jock had compromised on creating a family after everything they had gone through. He would not settle for a destiny that did not align with his goals and values. Despite their inevitable emotional separation, their love for one another was insufficient to bridge their different perspectives about the future.
I don't have to give no explanations to no goddamn body. If you understand, you understand.
No, what are you talking about?
That's what it is.
You so goddamn big-headed and arrogant. You around here creating babies all over the globe, dropping them off household to household.
All over
You
the globe? What are you
indignant
talking
enough to not actually be able to tell my mama, tell my brother? You should answer them.
I would talk to who else.
Young Jock's separation has focused on making a fresh start and moving on. He is still a loving father to his children and has gone back to his singing career. In addition, he has come to terms with his single status and considered the lessons he has gained from his marriage to Kendra. Jock said that when your paths don't align, you have to leave because sometimes love isn't enough. The decision to end the marriage was necessary even though it was unpleasant. Through his post-divorce experience, Jock demonstrates how he is depending on his career, his kids, and his composure. Has persisted in focusing on creating a promising future for himself and his family because he is determined not to let the heartbreak break him. Kara Robinson, who has always been ambitious and driven, has worked even harder at her legal career. Kendra's journey after the divorce shows that she is stronger than ever and that her objectives and aspirations have remained the same. She has maintained her professional success. Kendra has made it clear what she wants women to know. A woman is valuable regardless of whether she has children or attracts a man. Her decision to prioritize her own childbearing schedule is indicative of a growing sentiment. Many modern women feel that love and ambition shouldn't have to be mutually exclusive. I thought we wouldn't even bring up this topic when we promised to move on. People did bring it up to me, as they ought to have, but I didn't. Fans are torn about the separation between young Jock and Kendra, which has sparked a lot of conversation on social media. Some individuals back Jock because they believe his marriage vision and desire for a traditional family are valid. They argue that having children and building a future together is a desirable objective. A user said, "If you don't want kids, why do you even get married to someone who clearly does?" stating that it's not a prerequisite for a successful marriage. On the other hand, many supporters are congratulating Kendra for upholding her morals and prioritizing her job. Kendra's decision shows a modern, independent perspective and goes against traditional ideals of women. Kendra decided to freeze her eggs, according to one admirer's tweet. Her views were reinforced by another statement, which stated that women shouldn't be pressured into becoming mothers before they're ready. Her prospects, they are clearly in love, but love alone isn't enough all the time. Love and loyalty are never black and white, according to one Instagram comment, and Jock and Kendra's split has generated a controversy that is splitting followers all over the world. Being a baby mom has no bearing on a woman's value. Some fans also find fault with both sides. The Jock and Kendra tale illustrates some useful relationship lessons that many couples can relate to. Fundamentally, this split shows how crucial it is for two people to have same goals and values. Prior to marriage, relationships require more than just love. They also require compromise, understanding, and a common goal for the future. Without these, even the strongest ties can break down. Another lesson in self-awareness under pressure is that Jock and Kendra both made decisions based on their own needs and priorities. Jock came to the realization that he couldn't live in a marriage in which his need for children wasn't being met, and Kendra persisted in pursuing her independence and career goals. They learned from their experience that it's sometimes wise to leave, even when it is painful. Whether love is enough to sustain a relationship or if shared objectives and aspirations are more significant remains the crucial question. What do you guys think? Should Jock and Kendra have reconciled, or was it proper to end things? Kindly leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for future updates. Jock and Kendra's breakup hits us to reflect on what makes a marriage successful and what happens when things don't work out.